So yeah, it's another thing to go and like, I hit the button. So the link, I guess it'll show up soon, but
Oh, there
go
you go.
live and then, edit it and add some images, some links, some subscribe buttons, stuff like that.
Yeah. All right.
So we're live. I'm going to go clean up the noise a little bit.
Okay. I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're not alone anymore. I was about to keep on singing. All right.
All right. So we are being live streamed right now.
All right.
Robbie just got non-gendered.
What? Wait a minute. Let me see. Who? What up, Rob? Oh, no.
Yep. Right before your very eyes, man.
Yeah. What up to all my Filipinxs out there, my Latinxs?
Yeah, man, these things come and go so fast. What was that? Was that a couple weeks ago we talked about that, or was that I don't know?
I think it was
sometime in the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Man, what other nationality, right? Can we add an X to Germixes, to all the Germans out there?
It can only be languages that lazy Americans know a little bit about. You know what I mean? Like German is way too hard for them to be starting to mess with any kind of, to even look into whether there's any kind of gender, like male or female words, versions of nouns. Like Russian, well, that's like a whole nother alphabet, so nobody's got time for that. Asian, they probably have all kinds of like really hardcore, misogynistic, like history in their language, whatever. Who I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but it would also require some woke person to learn another culture.
Jeez,
that's a lot of work to save the world from. I don't know. What are we saving the world from again? I don't remember. Hate. Saving the world from hate.
Oh, hate. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Who? That's yeah. The Adam Carolla podcast Facebook group. Somebody posted. What was it like? 86 hate. It was 86H8.
Oh, is that on the car? Is that no? Was it?
If we're doing a little early, yeah, like in the Adam Carolla podcast Facebook group, it was 86 space H8 as in hate. So, and then someone posted their own, editorial on that, which was couldn't hang with that person. Hold on, my son is. I already added time, man. What?
No, you can't have V-Bucks. Not right now.
Yeah, this kid's like. Wants more Xbox time.
My stepson.
Oh, you know what I was telling you? I already added time. See, and this happens also where I add time and then he keeps telling me for 5 minutes that I haven't. So we keep arguing. I've already done something nice and then I regret it. He's giving me grief. He's texting me saying he doesn't see it. And then because it takes a couple minutes for it to kick in, or I don't know.
So come on, old man. I need my fix.
I was talking about something way more important than this. But I don't remember.
So this step kid right now is in Mexico Mexico. He's gonna come back a couple days. He's with his grandparents visiting.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Getting away for the
Mexico.
summer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, seriously, about a month, a little peace and quiet at home. So he told the wife, his mom, she told me, oh, he was asking about you, me. And I'm like, oh, really? What for? Oh, how is he? Good, good. Oh, by the way, can you ask him if he can buy me V-Bucks? If he can buy me one,
Yeah.
and he goes 1000 V-Bucks. I'm like, oh, $10 worth of V-Bucks.
No, 1,000 V-Bucks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, how's the weather?
Yeah. Hey,
How's the weather, Roberto?
he's done it. He's done it before. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you serious, dude?
Well, I try to harness that, whatever that, that motive, whatever that desire is, into something, you know what I mean? Like, some kind of life lesson, make them do something, chore, or just, like, I don't know. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Away for the summer, like whereabouts?
Guadalajara, that area.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So instead of me asking you like for a town or place, like what kind of area? Like, is it like they live in the city, they live in the country?
It's more country.
Okay.
It's more country. But what her parents do is they like to go to they do the resorts, even in the area. So they took both kids to a resort and stayed a week there. Did the beach thing, did the swimming pool thing.
Was it one of those all-inclusive resorts?
I think so. They're both retired, so they liked, and they've got from what I understand, they've got some money. They've got a few homes.
Shit ton of pesos.
Yeah, I might go retire there. I don't know. Francois, put an X on the end of half of their words. Anyway,
The who?
Is that the French?
Oh, yeah.
Francis.
Yeah. Like a Grand Prix race is, safe, non-threatening. It's a non-threatening gendered name of that event.
Speaking of non-threatening, I remember back when I was, I don't know, like 8 years old, and I was with my brother playing cars in my aunt's house, and my cousin, who was about 10 years older or so, I'm like, oh yeah, we're playing the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix, and we mentioned the Grand Prix and the brand. He's like, it's Grand Prix. I'm like, oh, sorry, buddy. Like, I don't know. I'm just 9, 8.
I think English and the French, they did a lot of stuff to words to confuse people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like intermixing their words, but we do that too. And I was watching the preview of some show that was actually from like Sweden. It was like a detective crime show from Sweden. And I was actually watching to see if it was, English or if it was going to be closed captioning. I was have to do a lot of reading, and he was speaking, whatever, Finnish or Swedish or whatever they talk in those areas, but he said takeaway, like they call carry out food takeaway.
Oh,
so they've adopted takeaway as a word. They don't have a translation for it. They've just kind of taken takeaway as a word in their language.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in other shows, to be honest, like other European shows, where, yeah, I think that's where takeaway is more of I think a British word for carry out.
What about this? Every now and then I'll visit Guatemala, and the to-go food, delivery, they just say, I think, to domicilio. I don't like the word domicile. Is like, ooh,
that's house.
Domicile.
Isn't that house though? Like, isn't that have like
maybe? But I remember them saying domicilio.
Yeah,
which I think I don't like that. Don't say that.
In general,
what's wrong with domicilio?
It just sounds pretentious. Ugh, domicile.
Well, in general, I think you're going for like whatever works, first of all, but then in general be like the fewest letters, syllables, like the easiest thing, like, I don't know, something that would also maybe be universal. I don't know. I think we killed that topic.
Yeah.
We all set to
whatever,
go, gentlemen.
whatever that was. I'm not even sure what we were talking about.
I don't know either.
I think I'm ready to go. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go.
Cool,
And
go
actually, I've got the YouTube on the computer now, so I can see. I don't have to be checking on my phone, so I can answer comments on the keyboard on my computer.
Congratulations, man. That's
I figured it out.
you're like the I mean, I'm not sure if you're like the Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos of this, whatever.
Finally, yeah.
All right, go ahead and start recording that audio, Chris.
Recording in
3,
progress.
2, 1.
Oh, was that sorry about that. You got kind of caught me off guard there.
All right, let's do that again.
Hold on. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 115 of your Endless Ranters podcast. Thanks for watching, listening, and subscribing. We truly appreciate the support. My name is Chris, and I'm one of your hosts for the evening. I'm joined by the one and only Robbie Spotlight. What up, Robbie?
What up, homies?
What up to you, my homie? And then there is the man with the plan. It's producer Manny. What's going down, old man?
Peace, King. Good to be here.
Peace to you, my king. You're also my king. Yeah. I think that's the best. That's the best. If I have to also, dress you as royalty, that's what I will. You're also my king.
Yeah.
So let's say tonight. Last week, we had a special crossover event with Coop and Russ from the Two Grumpy Bastards podcast, right? You can check them out everywhere. Always a great time. So tonight's show, we got a couple weeks actually of life to catch up on for your boys here. Manny has a tale and air quotes has a new segment he wants to announce. I'm still fascinated by this Brittany Griner situation. Not really her, I mean, she's American. She can just come back, but like this proposed trade for the arms dealer.
You've been hung up on this ever since.
I really have been, man. I'm fascinated by this. I'm fascinated. It checks a lot of interests boxes for me, if I may. And then it kind of touches on the Deshaun Watson situation. That's another crazy, just bizarro world thing going on. And then we'll talk about news. I wanted to talk about this topic for a while. Maybe I have it a little bit, but like where people get their news analysts or analysis, like who you listen, like where you get your news, like in the morning or whatever. Maybe people get their news from like actual cable news or just what they hear throughout the day through pop culture, whatnot, other podcasts. So curious about that. But last week, follow up special thanks again to Coop and Russ of the Two Grumpy Bastards podcast, where you can find that anywhere you get your podcasts. Always great to talk to those guys.
They were very
Absolutely.
bastardly.
They were such bastards. They're supposed to be, though.
Yeah.
They
very
lived
on
up to the
brand.
moniker. Yeah.
Any memorable takeaways, though? I have many, and we've talked about them, a few of them over the last week or so.
Oh man, I mean, there's so many great one-liners that Coop was responsible for, and Russ. So just that alone, and it was a bit more of a lengthy episode. We try to keep it to like hour and a half most.
Yeah, so, I think when you get I think when you get access to guys like that, honestly, like that's why I think their podcast is good. Is like guys that have actually like been through. Yeah, they've been through higher education. They've been through basic training. They've been through officer school. They've been officers. They've taught it. They've actually fought. They've been in the thick of things. So I think they offer kind of a unique perspective. I always value that. Whether I agree with it 100% or not. Just really, really value that. And a lot of people watch cable news. On topic and. You see guys on news that, they've got all the rank or whatever, and they're on the news channel, but you don't really know if they've, what their story is all the time. So being able to talk to guys like that is great. Yeah. Even about basic stuff, not just about politics, but just about movie, entertainment, whatnot, culture.
Oh, actually, thank you for you reminded me that I was really taken by surprise. Was it Coop's love for Battleship of all movies?
Oh yeah.
I think it's fun. I mean, I got to think that nostalgia part at the end, right, where they have the old veterans, old Navy vets, like operating the destroyers. That's got to score some points, you know.
I think I just avoided it because I knew it was directed by Michael Bay. So
yeah. Oh, it was. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, no doubt, ridiculous.
Did your Bay directed it?
It really was. I mean, but I don't know. It's just fun. It was like one of those movies that's just fun to watch, right?
I guess so. Of just being too harsh on it. Also, just because it's like it's a board game. Like, what could? So I just kind of was like, you know what? Fuck it. Who cares?
I mean, Rihanna was in it, and she's pretty, but I'm like, I don't believe it.
Rihanna was in it because they were like, if 10% of her followers watch the movie, we'll break even.
Well, that's why Ashanti was in some movies back in the early 2000s, and Ja Rule, DMX.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a crazy departure for a board game because they took a lot of liberties. You know what I mean? Really?
Yeah.
I guess there were ships. And I guess in battleships, then you're trying to destroy something else in the water. Yeah, there are coordinates you're trying to hit, but wow, yeah, very. I mean, I don't even know. A hair's thread connection to the actual board game, just that there were battleships in it. So
actually, there's all this discussion. This got me wondering what a Jumanji directed by Michael Bay look like.
I don't think I saw the latest one.
I heard good things about it.
That's the one with The Rock, maybe?
And Jack Black and a few others, yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, a big thanks to those guys too. Grumpy Bastards podcast. It's a good one. It's a good one. Learn a lot from those guys, yeah. So
support the show. Go buy some of their merch as well.
They have strong opinions, but they always back it up. You know what I mean? You can't really can't really take it away from them. So anyway. So, like I said, we had guests last week, so we have a couple weeks of life to catch up on. Manny, you had a tale, you said.
Yeah, I do.
And I mean, we haven't heard from you. We've only heard from you a little bit last week, and then you were out the previous two. So, what's
true?
What's up, man? How you been?
Just it's been a few steady weeks of work. These one of the coworkers is on vacation, the other one's out sick, so it's just like picking up extra shifts all over the place. And one of those happened to be the farmers market that just happened that was supposed to happen on Sunday. Tying it into last week's episode, how the two grumpy bastards were talking about civil unrest and how ugly a civil war and national divorce would actually be. So I show up at the market. I set up. I go take a quick walk around the block for a little smoke break before the market opens. As I'm walking around, gunshots ring out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, and granted, I was really stoned, so I was just like, it's kind of early for them to be filming a movie.
You were stoned?
You didn't realize it. You didn't realize you were in someone else's car.
No,
you're in a police cruiser.
How'd I get in here, man? I think this weed just kicked in.
What city is this now? This is the farmers market in
Hollywood.
Hollywood, okay.
Yeah,
you're setting up dairy products for the company you work for.
Yeah, well. The van was there because it has to stay in there, otherwise it'll spoil. But I set up, the little display, the tent, the table, prices, etc. And it's literally up the street from the Cinerama Dome, so like you're in the heart of Hollywood. And that's why I was thinking maybe they were filming something. Granted, it was 7:45 in the fucking morning, so I did find it a bit odd. So I'm walking back to the van, and I take a side street that's part of the market. And the same alleyway where I heard the gunshots ring off, they weren't letting the market staff, they weren't letting people walk through. They're like, I'm sorry, there's a situation. You have to go back the other way. And that's when it just like clicked. It's like, oh, some shit's going down. Great. So walk back to the van, and I'm just chilling there. I make a few sales, and then one of the staff members walking around is like, I'm sorry, we're still going to have to suspend all sales. All customers, please make your way to the exits. And then maybe 2 minutes later, they're like, yeah, vendors, pack it up, and just booked it after that.
So you backed it up to the van.
Oh, I backed that raw ass up for sure.
Well, damn, man.
Yeah,
so,
man.
In the end, what happened?
I don't know, dude. So like
some beef between organic farmers, like
one of the vendors looked at the other one in the wrong way, and
you're not 100%. You're not 100% organic.
Yeah.
You're 99% organic. You
vegans versus carnivores.
Yeah, man. So it's just an everyday rundown. I mean, just because you're in the Bloods of the Crips doesn't mean you don't enjoy fresh food, like fresh produce and organic, grass-fed beef.
Right. I think this might have been just like more, higher end gangsters like Bloods and the Crips. Like, I think
hipster gangsters, maybe.
Oh, well, okay. Well, sure. I mean, just because you're, running the rackets and organized crime, gambling and whatnot doesn't mean you don't enjoy fresh produce and organic grass-fed beef.
Yeah, dude. So
you know what I mean?
Yeah, be careful out there, people. Just because it's a nice farmers market doesn't mean that it's safe.
Just because you're a union leader and waste management doesn't mean you don't like. Anyway, fresh milk.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Same, man. Same.
So you didn't bother to like Google or do any kind of like. So
nope.
What? Why not?
The way I approach things is like, okay, that was crazy. No one was hurt as far as I know. Oh, and yeah, as I was leaving, like the
as far as you know,
the police.
So basically, you're saying no one you knew.
As far as I care,
it really comes down to no one you knew personally got hurt. So
I know that I said that wrong. None of the market employees, I don't know who, because it sounded like it may came from one of the buildings, and like there was tons of buildings around there. I don't know who's living in which ones, because there's like a lot of high-end loft condos, apartments for rents there. So I didn't look up what happened afterwards, just because I thought just being in the middle of something like that was just in my mind, crazy enough.
That's enough.
Yeah, it's enough. I don't.
Yeah. So you're like one of those guys, like you're okay with like a cliffhanger ending to a movie. You know what I mean?
The wild ride that it was leading up to that. Why not?
Yeah, you're like, I'm okay with the experience. I don't need to know if they, if they died or they got married or whatever,
or whose son that truly belonged to. It's just, it happened. No one was hurt. We're here speaking about it another day. Time to move on. Well, not time to move on.
Yeah.
I just took the best of what happened, and it's just like, I feel like it would just cloud my head. It's just like something to just linger more and more that just shouldn't be lingering.
Yeah, well, your lack of need to know is clouding my head right now. So I admire you. I admire that about you, though.
And that makes me sound like I'm cold or callous. I'm not. It's just there's already plenty going around in the world.
There's a million in the walk back to your, in the drive back home. It's like there's a million other things that happen that are just like, what the hell is going on?
There's another shooting. Probably.
Plus, you live in Hollywood and Los Angeles area, so there's all kinds of like,
there's always
there's all kinds of like mysterious stuff going on. Yeah.
So
I remember that being out there.
Well, you were involved in the shooting?
Nah, I can't comment on that. No, but I remember like driving around and like seeing all these homeless encampments and, being like, man, I wonder, man, that looks like it took some time to build. You know what I mean? I wonder what the story of that is, Some people look at the Hearst Castle, the Hearst Mansion, and they're like, whoa, I wonder how long that took to make. I look at the homeless encampments like, I wonder if they have carpet inside.
It's the Hearst Castle equivalent.
Like, because you could have a really shitty looking like homeless tent on the outside, but if you had like fresh pillows and inside and like fresh blankets, I mean, I don't know, could deal with that for a night. Maybe a plant. That was another question I had when I was driving around there. It was like, maybe they have a plant inside. You know what I mean? Like what's to keep them from stealing a plant from someone's patio or the front of their business?
Built their house around the plant. It's just like, check out this interior decor.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm. Okay, sweetheart. Okay. Okay.
It's okay. We're gonna get the family market.
They're
Yeah,
in
know, dude.
aggressive affection mode.
yeah.
Hey, close that door, would you? Thank you, sweetheart. Night. Close the door behind you. Sorry. We're talking about something.
We're talking about the homeless.
Oh, the homeless thing. Yeah. I'll stop talking about that.
Chris, Skid Row wasn't created in a day. What was that Rome quote?
Skid Row fell on you, not on me. No. You had a good quote on that. You had a good take on a mix up on that a while back. Yeah.
I forgot if it was. I forgot it was gentrification or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but don't let Skid Row fall on you.
Yeah. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, I don't even know how we got talking about this stuff.
LA, all the craziness.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Manny had a near-death experience, I guess.
Adjacent, not really near death.
Okay.
Near death adjacent.
It made you think about other,
yes, exactly.
Maybe somebody had a near-death experience.
Exactly.
In your vicinity. So.
And having been through one of those myself, it's just like, I hope they live through this all right, and I hope they make it through all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or R.I.P. Yuppie organic farmer.
Whoa. Monkey's uncle says Skid Row's been around since the 20s. Probably not our Skid Row. Not our Skid Row.
The band?
I don't think
the neighborhood.
Is Skid Row with Sebastian Bach?
Yes.
That's Skid Row, right?
Yeah. Sebastian probably looks hot from behind with all that long blonde hair. You think he's probably like a hot woman, but he's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. With those skinny legs.
Yeah, he probably tricked a lot of people back in the 80s, 90s.
Oh, yeah. Those hair,
late
those
2000s.
hairband metal guys, they always skipped leg day.
Yeah.
Because they fit in those really tight jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Manny, I'm glad you're alive.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here again.
So what other life catch-ups? I've been busy. It's been a busy couple weeks. We had, as I showed you guys some pictures, we dropped my son off a couple weeks ago at ranch camp.
Yeah.
At Possum Kingdom Lake in the middle of north central Texas, something like that. So,
I have questions about this horse riding expedition. Is this the first time he's been on a horse?
No, he's been to multiple horse camps, but day camps where they
not
just
sleep away horse
go to
camp.
a local farm. Maybe there's a lot of horse farms that maybe 30 minutes away from us, I think. So he's done some camps like that where he goes and does takes care of the horse for a few hours every day, rides, all that. He's done that before, but this is the first time he's gone overnight. It's like a YMCA camp, and they could do all kinds of activities. And his specific focus was the horses and ranch.
Cool. Was it 1 night, 2 nights?
That was 6 nights.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Shoot.
Was it all inclusive?
He went to a different camp. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Like a cabin and bread and water. Yeah. Cafeteria. Yeah, it's a cafeteria. It's like a summer camp,
Yeah.
Right.
But man, I've never been out to this Possum Kingdom Lake before. It's got a weird name. I've heard it talked about because it's just a couple hours, 2.5 hours away from where we are.
Is it overrun by possum?
It used to be. That's how it got its name.
Okay.
Fur traders back in the days, and in the, I guess at some point they referred to the boys of Possum Kingdom as fur traders. That that was their territory, I guess, and. A lot of possums that lived in that area.
I can't believe I wonder if there were ever any duels or scuffles with other pelt traders and salesmen along the way that
I tell you what, there were because it's a rough and tumble area, man. It's hard to imagine. But yeah, it's a pretty tough area there's like cliffs. Like it's a beautiful lake. It's man-made. It's just there's a valley. There's a bunch of cliffs, and they decided in the 30s to dam it off and make a lake out of it. But there's like I guess it's at the Brazos River. There's a cliff structure across the lake from the camp called Hell's Gate, and it got its name because some fur traders met up with some Comanches, and they were trading, and the fur traders had liquor, and the story goes the Comanches had never had liquor before, so they got drunk, passed out. The fur traders stole some of the things that the Comanches had. When the Comanches woke up, they tracked them down and then killed them, and on this rock structure. So,
all right.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's true or not, but it's a good story.
Yeah.
If two like cliffs are going to be called Hell's Gate, it's a pretty good story.
Hell yeah, dude.
But it's just a beautiful area. I was really like kind of obsessed with it for a couple weeks there. And then we drove back and picked them up, and yeah, it was good. It's a good little family road trip.
Did you play Monkey's Uncle and Sean Z? They said there's a group, the Toadies.
Yeah, that's one. Kingdom. I guess that's like if anybody's heard of Possum Kingdom outside of Central Texas, it's because of that song. It's I guess
okay.
It's a pretty popular song. That Toadies are a band from maybe this area, like the Dallas Fort Worth area, and they had gone to Possum Kingdom in their youth. It's kind of a
the Toadies.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if I've heard this song before, but I haven't listened to it. So
okay, so if I hear it, I'll immediately recognize it. It says Sean. Okay.
I always thought like when it was called Possum Kingdom, and I'd hear people talking about it, I was like, okay, that sounds kind of strange, but just what they named it. Anyway, ranch camp. My son, he started jujitsu this week, so he tried to hurt me.
Wait.
He tried to hurt me Tuesday night.
He's over here grounding and pounding on horses. Is that what you're telling me?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane, dude. Props to your son.
He's what? Man. He's what? Yeah, he's doing the ground and pound. It was
because you're over here.
It was an equine / MMA camp. If you learn to fight horses,
it's very niche.
Now he's got a wide range. No, he came back last weekend and had some time in the air conditioning because it was pretty freaking hot out there.
So what, did he get you in a triangle or something?
He tried to, yeah, man. He tried to hurt me.
You gotta be careful, man.
I am kind of like there's a little bit of different dynamic going on now. You know what I mean? Like got to sleep with one eye open.
I mean, you may be taller, but he'll fucking sweep the leg and it's done.
Now, this week he went to a couple trial classes for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in our area. And he's really excited about it. So he's going to sign up. It's pretty serious, man. They want you to sign up for like 6 months or a year. The place he wants to sign up at, they want a year commitment. Yeah.
I like that.
But I can understand it because, they got rent. They have rent and leases to commit to, and they have, they probably have a lot of kids that flame out, after get excited and flame out after a couple classes.
Now that you mentioned that, it reminds me, or it's just like they're like a cousin as far as like, the business sense goes, because they could be going out of business like a rug outlet as well, They're I mean,
yeah, rugs aren't in demand right now.
Nope. And then if you always have it like you cater to kids that don't want to commit, it's just like, will you be able to make your rent?
Yeah.
Better off, running a rug outlet.
And also, I think that, I think for them, I think they realize that it takes a little time to get results. So my son, he's okay. I mean, he can, he's a kind of a big kid, so he can hold his own. But I think we're getting into it more for like the discipline, keeping him busy, like know how to win a fight. And, I mean, if my son's going to fight some kid, like who knows, in middle school or something, it's like, I don't think trying to punch someone in the face or get punched in the face is the best way to go.
I got a good way that you could help him improve / fuck with him.
What's that?
Whenever he tries to come at you, be like, your stance is wrong. Get in your stance.
Yeah.
Just constantly correct the stance.
Yeah. So just like attack you with insecurities.
Yep.
Yeah. Attacking with self-doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like my dad when I was taking guitar lessons, and my dad plays a guitar, and so I'd be kind of strumming the strings, and then my dad would be like, let me see that, and then he'd get the guitar and do the whole. I'm like, dude, I'm just beginning. And he's like, yeah, just do it this way, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
and then I got tired.
Yeah,
you flamed out.
I flamed out.
But it's good, Adam Carolla talks about that sometimes. He's like, when you get into like a fight, like no one knows how to box. So like two dudes like trying to that don't know how to box, trying to box each other is ridiculous. So it's like just, I'm kind of like, I think I'd rather my son just take somebody down and try to like subdue them than try to like punch someone in the face. And then, like Adam talks about, like it's not the punch that kills somebody too, or like does serious damage. It's that you knock them out.
It's the fall after,
and they fall without like bracing, like without their hands coming out to protect their head. So it's like I'd rather like it's kind of like wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of grappling and takedowns and holds and all that. So like anyway, so I want my son to win fights, but we don't want to pay any lawsuits. What it comes down to.
Well, tell him, be like, look, if you ever get yourself in a situation where it might lead to an altercation, just let the person know my fists are registered as deadly weapons. Let's not do this.
You know what? I don't know if he's 10. I don't know if he's ever heard that before. I'm going to ask him that later. I'm going to ask him if he's ever seen any of his like kids shows, if anybody's joked about registering their hands as deadly weapons, or if that's a thing in the past. I don't know.
Chris, I have a question for you as a dad of a boy that is fighting now, or is going to school, is going to face maybe bullies, that sort of thing.
I think it's not like it's like the potential. It's like most
that's
like
going to be
most
ready.
Kids are never going to get into a fist fight in school, but it's like they probably have anxiety about it. You know what I mean? Like anxiety about like someone pushing them around and them not knowing what to do or something. So
I punched a kid when I was in 5th grade. He went down. And we both got in trouble. But anyways, okay. My stepson. So one time, I think I was kind of kidding around with him, and he started taking it a little too seriously. And sometimes I'll call him a knucklehead or a cheesehead, just kind of light, not really insults, but then he starts taking it, oh, mom, Rob is, whatever. And I'm like, dude,
name calling specifically as harmless as it is I think is like a real delicate area.
Well,
I do that with my kids, but I do it a lot, and it's like frequent, and I kind of let them go back and forth on it some, but it can it can be a little confusing because other messages they've been getting for a long time have been none of that,
so what I've told him is, hey, when you go to school, the kids are going to call you names. Some of these kids are going to call you names. So I've told them, you're going to have a thick skin. You know what that means? That means that if they say something to you, you're just going to say, okay, like whatever. Because I do remember as a kid, I got into a few fights during, my years in elementary and middle school and a little bit of high school.
Hothead.
I used to be. And my mom, one time I told her, I said, well, they said they talked about you. They said that you were, I forget what. And it's like, they don't know my mom. No one knows my mom in school. And then so she said, hey, they don't know me, so just let them say what they're gonna say, and that's it. And
father should protect my honor, not you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I even told them, I said, look, if they ever say anything about you or your mom, they don't know your mom. So just be like, okay, whatever. Just okay. And I'm sure a lot of these kids they want to get a reaction from you, but if you give them that reaction, you're giving them what they want.
I'd say that it is true. Like you said, thick skin. It is really important for kids to have a thick skin, but it's important that thick skin is like covering a really confident little individual.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like a fine line between kind of ribbing and
ribbing. Yeah.
Ribbing them a little bit. And then also like making sure that there's like a lot of like, there's 10 times as much confidence building as there is kind of, like, knocking it down a little bit.
I
like
try
if
to.
there's a kid that's insecure,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I'd go hard, like you'd focus on the confidence building before you get to the like, hey, like, like my son sometimes, he gets a little bold, so there's some times where it's got to get knocked down a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I tell him I love him and, just that he,
oh, for sure.
Way more. Yeah, I'm sure you do too.
So what? Yeah, no, same. What I tell him sometimes is, let's say if he's kind of complaining or almost crying about some petty thing. Sometimes, obviously, I try to be careful with the whole. I don't call him, "Oh, you little sissy," like some of these parents do, right? Because then that'll turn. I don't want him turn into a psycho. What's his name? Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. But I'll tell him, "Oh, hey, I forget his name." But I'm like, hey, you're a big boy, right? You can do it. And yeah, okay. And so I call him a big boy, and I'm like, you're strong, right? You can do it. Yeah, okay. But I never kind of talk down to him like our parents used to, I later on in life, my mom used to tell me sometimes she used to say, "Oh, you're useless." And then, but that's how, look, Ramon is in the chat right now. So
Spanish, it doesn't sound as bad in Spanish.
It doesn't.
It sounds almost loving.
It really does. If you ask,
it's out of frustration that they're calling you useless.
It's a compliment in your culture. It's cool.
Oh no, I've told the wife this, and she goes, "No, well, that's not even my wife." I'm like, "See, you're one of them."
She left later, off the right now. You're useless right now.
Yeah.
For the next couple minutes,
exactly. I'm like, just give me 5 minutes. I'll. And Ramon says right here on the chat, he goes, name calling is a Mexican rite of passage. And it is, man. It is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys have all kinds of like either fitting or, well, I mean, I guess all cultures do, but like super fitting or just super not fitting nicknames.
Oh, yeah. Like if it's he's fat.
Well, there's a player from Manchester United called Chicharito.
Oh, yeah.
Chicharito
play soccer?
Little P. I think he retired, but Little P. I think it was Little P because his dad was known as like something green, like was something green and was like the P or something. And then his son was like Chicharito. His dad was a famous footballer also. I don't know, but it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, Norman Bates.
It's like calling the big guy tiny,
And Monkey Circle says Norman Bates. Yes, Norman Bates. I don't want
Norman. I was going to say Alvin.
Yeah, I know, right? That'd be a good. I
was thinking of names that like kids that just had a hard time.
So you got to be careful with the kids. You got to, you don't want to baby them their whole life, but you got to be use tact when you, when you kind of show them a little toughness. So that's why. And
at the same time, there's a chance that you have very little to do with how they turn out.
Yeah,
you did your best.
Like you're just doing your best because there are some freaking kids out there, like people out there that it's like, man, something just doesn't make sense. Like they just got with the wrong. I think that's something too. Like you can do all those things, and then they meet like at the wrong time in the 7th or 8th grade. They meet, like another family moves in, and they moved in because they're trying to get away from, wherever their kid. Vandalize a cop car, and now that kid is like, oh yeah, you should meet, like go meet the neighbor, but that neighbor is a, like a juvenile delinquent.
Sure.
And they, your kid's running in with them, and like, before you know it, they just got some bad ideas.
Yeah, dude.
I think that, I mean, I really think it can be as simple as that. Like you just run into the wrong crowd.
It happens.
Or maybe
I'm not even talking about just in like rough neighborhoods or like suburban middle class neighborhoods. I mean, it's like for rich people too. Like it really depends. Like you're like your friends into like going to raves and taking ecstasy and like all night. Like that's what you do, even if you're rich or something. It's like you run in with the wrong crowd. And I don't know.
I mean, have you seen that movie? You're describing perfectly that movie Airborne. Have you seen that movie? When his parents go to
Airborne.
Australia for 6 months to work on a zoology project, young Mitchell is sent to live with his aunt Irene. Remember, it's a movie about rollerblading.
Airborne.
Never heard of it. I
Jack
thought-
Black is in it.
Oh shit. Okay. No, never.
Oh shoot! I
I
know.
honestly thought you were going to ask if about the movie Kids, because that was more of, in line with what Chris was talking about.
Okay,
So these-
I recognize that thumbnail.
Yeah.
But-
Oh yeah.
So he gets sent away, to his cousins, and Seth Green is his cousin, like his wannabe cool cousin, and he goes in, he gets into fights. Yeah. That's Airborne.
But that's not. It's like not even like you're sending your kid away. It's just like your kid got put in this classroom in 7th grade, and the delinquent that just moved to the area. It just happens to be in the same last. The first letter in your last name is the same, right?
And they match
And
you.
You're next to them in homeroom.
Yeah.
There you go. And that delinquent has kind of a good sense of humor.
Oh,
It's
You know
true,
what I
man.
you're reminding me.
It's like, yeah.
You're reminding me of one of my best friends from high school. He was in a class when this other girl, this Chola girl, this little gangster girl, fell in love with him, and he's this like, kind of preppy Hispanic kid, and he's like, I don't know
it.
I don't know what to do.
Hell is all this time.
Next thing you know, he's in a gang initiation.
Yeah, exactly. He was afraid. He was all over him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she was tired of all the hard living the Cholo lifestyle brings. She's like, I need to change, man.
So in this story, what did you do? I mean, what did your friend do, Rob?
Yeah, did he get jumped in? Did he politely decline?
Yeah,
did he get his ass kicked?
Did you, your friend decline, or did you, your friend, like
my friend politely declined. I forget her. I still sort of remember what she looked like, but she wore the dark lipstick, that the cholas wear, and the flannel, all that stuff.
I don't know the Chola look as much as I like the Cholo, like Jay Moore when he does the Cholo impersonation.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that accent. The accent, like the Latino and English accent. It just cracks me up.
Look, it's a bad.
It's like almost
accent,
a little Canadian in there
but
too.
It's funny.
Yeah, like the A.
Oh yeah, A. Come on, vato loco.
There's like a Canadian accent in there too. So all right,
drawn on eyebrows. Yep, that's right.
Oof.
So yeah, ranch cam, jiu-jitsu, like almost activity overload, because now we're doing training.
What about the girls?
They're doing tumbling, like a tumbling
right.
/ gymnastics class now. So they've got the outfits. That's what it's all about at this age, the outfits and the cute little white shoes. And they're doing they're experimenting with somersaults and cartwheels. And I don't know. It's precious.
Yeah.
Are they aware of their surroundings enough to be able to get the movement down and everything, or are they struggling?
I wouldn't say they're naturals. If I have to really take off my dad blinders and be really objective,
the objective Asian dad in you comes out.
But it's fun. It's fun to see them, I don't know, kind of just figure out things. And they're also watching, because it's like these gymnastics classes. I've only been to one, but it's just a huge area. And there's girls and a couple boys. I guess it's all girls, really. A couple boys, just of all ages, just doing all kinds of crazy shit everywhere, just jumping, flying all over the place. So at the same time, they're trying to do a cartwheel and they're just watching girls fly through the air. So that's kind of cool.
Mid-air collisions?
No, they're learning that, how to avoid that kind of thing. Cause I guess that is a thing.
Oh shit.
Gyms is walk where you're supposed to walk. So you don't get, catch a 720 kick to the jaw or something. But I don't know. I've always been kind of fascinated with gymnastics and the Olympics, because it's what they do is amazing. It's crazy.
Monkey's uncle wanted me to do some Cholo Improv, so I looked up some blood. Have you guys seen Blood In, Blood Out? Come on, man. You've seen it.
It's been a while.
Blood In, Blood Out.
No.
It's it's a legendary Cholo movie, just like American Me. If you're gonna watch two Cholo movies, you're gonna watch American Me and Blood In, Blood Out. I think
is American Me Edward James Olmos?
that's right.
I think they're both. I think they're the same. They just share. I think it's a long movie title.
Well, no. Blood In, Blood Out. The other title is Bound by Honor.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. It had something. You know how that when in Hollywood the box office they changed the name, and then American Me, Edward James Olmos is in it. It's the movie where the Mexican mafia actually put out a hit on him, and I think the director of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a scene where he, I think the Mexican mafia, leader gets gang raped in the shower prison, and of course that makes them look bad. So that's why Edward James Olmos and a couple other people got they put a hit on him.
Yeah, man.
So yeah. But Blood In, Blood Out. It's a good movie starring Benjamin Bratt. It's well made. Okay. And so here's a couple quotes. And there's a white dude that's a white cholo because I think his dad was white. His name is Miklo. He goes, when you expect nothing and get everything, that's destiny. Or the other one,
that's good.
I may be white from outside, but I'm brown from inside to the bone. And then what? last one. We can do the money truck or we can off each other. So I think there's more, but the last one, life's a risk, carnal. So life's a risk. So those are my Cholo.
Can you do the guy from a Training Day? He's talking about what happened. Yeah. What happened to his movement in the joint?
Yeah, is this the in the shower in the bathroom?
Something about stuff getting pushed in.
Oh,
you remember that scene?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Well, it's not really Cholo, but it's pretty intense.
Yeah. So those are good movies.
Thanks, man. That's good.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
You should take a stage with Luis too. Now that we've seen that you have the chops.
Hey, Luis, hire me, Luis.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
I think I've told you, Rob, you should take some classes or do like an improv troupe or something like that.
I would love to. We'll see if AP Productions can hire me on their next project. Yeah.
Manny, so you told your tale, your near-death tale.
Oh,
what about that? What about that air quotes news segment you were talking about?
So
something about age related, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, since we've explained it before, Chris has explained it before, how we've all met through the Corolla Facebook group. We're doing a little bit of Germany v. Florida. Where did this story originate from? And I want to posit a question after I'm done rambling off about this to Rob, because I know as you all know, he's a show feminist, and he's also going to be a father. So as a father, I want to hear his take on what he'd do if he was in this situation.
Sure. And I'm going to be a girl dad too, not just a feminist. I'm a girl dad.
Well,
this is Germany versus Florida, and with some parenting tips in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. A 14-year-old teenager took his mother's jewelry and sold it in between 25. It was estimated between 2,500 and 3,800. After he's done selling this cash, the teen goes and he buys himself, some working class gals and has some fun.
Who?
The teenager.
So a teenager sells his mom's jewelry.
Yep.
And then gets some hookers.
Yeah. Where did this happen?
Shoot. I think hookers are probably easier to find. Well, I'm sure. Well,
Germany I will just say Disney World. Because it's gone to pot down there. Disney World, Florida.
Yeah, I was gonna say Florida. It's I'm sure you can find hookers in Germany, but I think Florida is easier.
I bet it's easier to find hookers in Germany. And I only say that for one reason only.
Okay.
It's Europe. I don't know. They seem to be kind of looser with that kind of stuff, right?
No pun intended.
That's where they invented it.
All right. So
what's the answer? Is there a drum?
There's no. I'll insert the drum roll later. Yeah, it's Germany.
Ah, wow. Shoot.
Hmm.
So my follow up it goes to Rob.
That's what I said, Germany.
I know that you're going to be a father to a young girl, but what would you do if one of the sons, one of your stepsons, pulled some shit like this?
Oh, okay.
Sold your wife's jewelry and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go get my dick wet, Rob. Peace." Or you found out about it, I should say. I don't know how you find out about it, but what would you do?
Oh, shoot. I'd probably smack him around. Probably smack him around. Yeah.
That's warranted.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I don't think a jury would convict.
No, I'll smack him around.
I think you take. You never know. I don't know. In today's America, in Biden, in Obama's America, you never know. You take 10 people. It's like you take 10 people and you say, "Here's what happened." Is it okay to get rough a little bit?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
In my America, it's 10 out of 10. Yes.
But
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
expect more of those to come with each episode, people.
I mean, my kids. I mean, when they're 14, I don't know. I mean, are you in high five territory yet? I mean, it depends too. Like $2,800.
Yeah.
Did you get a good deal? Like, was it all costume jewelry and you pulled off the deal, scam of the century?
Well,
like you got one over on a pawn shop dealer,
I think it'd be difficult to get one over on them because they're used to dealing with, this type of shit. So they'd be able to spot a forgery.
Like I'm not joking around here a little bit.
Right.
Or I'm not joking.
Or
around
are
here.
you?
Well, I'm not joking around a little bit. I'm joking around to some degree, but there's like when my son commits a crime or a violation, I do kind of look at it as how bad a decision was this, but then also I mean, you got to have a few skills to pull this kind of thing off. You got to have a little, you got a little gumption, to get in this kind of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got to have a little technical know-how.
Well,
you better access a device or be clear your search history, stuff like that. Like, I mean, you're going to get in trouble, but I mean, it's noted. Your skills are noted. You know what I mean? Like that. I'm paying attention to your craft.
You want to get him in trouble for maybe selling fake IDs that he's making from the computer that you bought him. When he was
breaking the
17.
law, not good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, breaking the law. I'm at 5 out of 10. Breaking the law in a way where you could get caught really easily, like doing shoddy IDs, like I had from West Virginia, holding up a piece of cardboard. I'm not even joking. Like that's shoddy work, like that's not impressive. But anyway, yeah. But if you're pulling off like some little caper, it's like it's impressive. If you don't want to, I don't want to slap you on the wrist for the entrepreneurialism,
Can I admit something kind of weird to you guys?
You've done this?
No. I had a weird dream. I've been having some weird dreams, but I had a weird dream that I was in Inglourious Basterds, the movie. Like it was real.
Did you play the role of the Jew Bear?
No. But around me, there are like orgies, with different people and stuff. And I think uniforms. But you know why I had that dream? It's because I've been watching The Boys. And there was that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There was that scene where there's like an underground club for the super, enhanced superhuman people. And there's so many crazy things that happen and like orgies. And there's the shrink man that, has sex with the Barbie doll and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Boys has been getting in my head. Anyways, I related that to Germany, sorry guys. But
I think there's some themes there, like the themes of like fascism.
Yeah. Well, in the Boys, there's Nazis
stoking fear among the population to do whatever, whether it's to do good things or do bad things.
Yeah. Well, with some scenes, I can tell that Seth Rogen is one of the producers. I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to see some political things, like I don't know. What's his name? Homelander. I don't know. Like
Homelander,
the white, white supremacy thing, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they try to persecute Homelander, just for being himself.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
I always, obviously he's a terrible character, but I always joke around that he's my favorite. And that, that online game I played for a long time. I've taken a break.
Yeah.
But it was international. Like all my friends in that game were internationals, but they'd all watch The Boys and they knew I was an American, but they'd always say like that's like
that's you.
Not all. Yeah, like a couple of them would be like, when I imagine you, I imagine Homelander. Like that's pretty funny. And then I'm like, I don't know. That a little hurtful.
Well, look, the guy, he plays his character very well. And like I was telling you yesterday, I feel like he not to give too much away, but knowing how he grew up in the story, then I can kind of see where he comes from.
Yeah, it's nature versus nurture type of thing.
Yeah, nature versus nurture. He needed that love. Monkey's Uncle says World War II plus sex parties plus Adam Carolla equals Hogan's Heroes, Bob Crane home videos.
I'll tell you. Oh shit, that is one hell of a. I'm not even sure what you'd call that thought. Like just leap to leap, but yeah, Hogan's Heroes. I learned a lot about World War II from Hogan's Heroes. I would say I learned a lot about, like World War II propaganda, German stereotypes. Like I learned a few German words like Schnell, like I think that's hurry up.
Okay.
There's a couple other ones from that show, but that was a ridiculous show that was on reruns in the afternoon when I would get home from school in like maybe the 80s, Hogan's Heroes. But yeah, Bob Crane, the lead actor who was like an all-American face. The show was in black and white, if I remember. He was a dirty man, dirty bastard.
You know what's a derogatory word, I guess, for Germans, right? I guess watching these
spaz.
Not spaz. No, don't you say that word.
You asked me what for a derogatory word
for Germans,
and
isn't it?
Okay.
I keep on hearing kraut. Oh, the kraut. The kraut. For war movies. I guess that's
they said krauts a lot in Hogan's Heroes. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I guess that's a very tame word.
I think it was the Hogan's Heroes show. I say I learned from it, but I was like, I did remember thinking like, there's no way our enemies in this war were these types of buffoons, because that's how they portrayed every German was just like a clueless moron. It's like, this doesn't seem right. So, but it was entertaining and it was kind of I don't know. It was on and I had no other choice.
There you go.
That old excuse.
We're talking about Hogan's Heroes, the show. Yeah. Bob Crane. Yeah, he was a real sick twist.
He was. There's that movie with Greg Kinnear, right?
I knew there was. I don't remember what it's called. I knew there was one that came out. But yeah, that's it. That's
okay. Kraut, cabbage. So right, it's another word for cabbage.
Sauerkraut.
Yep. Yeah, sauerkraut.
They don't sauerkraut.
Fermented or pickled or whatever.
Pickled cabbage or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so
I still cannot eat sauerkraut. No.
Same. No, I've tried it. I could. It's not
on the hot dogs
or certain sandwiches too. Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, I could, right? But no, I prefer not to. I don't know what it's like a childhood thing. I think.
Wait, what about kimchi? Not to get all stereotypical.
Childhood kimchi, I'd run out of the room, but now I love it. I love it now.
What about this?
I find kimchi very mild and refreshing now.
What about that's kimchi, right? Kimchi, we got the sauerkraut. What about for the Salvadorians?
Kimchi, the condiment, not our former guest.
That's right. What about the Salvadorians in curtido for the pupusas? Manny's had them, I'm sure.
What?
Chris, pupusas, right?
Heard the name, heard that pupusas term.
Pupusas for sure.
I
And
believe
then,
I've eaten them at least once,
oh yeah, they're good, man.
but
And
man,
then
I don't remember.
curtido is this it's like cabbage with vinegar, and it's
Oh, that's right. They give it to you with like a side of coleslaw or some shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, it's good.
Nah.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm
Tell you
not a
what.
fan of any of those types of like little side salads like that. It's just
This reminds me that we started a little late tonight. My wife went to a happy hour and she brought me home a shrimp burrito. So let's move on. Daddy's hungry.
All right.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so the new so we had a throwback, Florida versus Germany.
yeah, man. We're gonna be doing those
Weird
for
one,
yeah. Tune
yeah.
in
So
next
if your
time.
kid does a crime, it's like, they got to get in trouble. They need to know, their limits and not to get caught and all that. But also, it's okay to give them a little props for their the ingenuity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Challenging themselves, like taking risks, recognizing a market,
Oh my god,
where goods are needed.
yeah.
Anyway, so still fascinated by this Brittany Griner situation. Obsessed, maybe. But the whole trade, the basketball player for an arms dealer, because that's what's going to happen. I think we even touched on it a couple weeks ago, but that's what's going to happen. We're going to trade. We're like, we spent like 10 years catching this guy. There's a movie with Nicolas Cage that's high praise, called Lord of War, right? That's made about this guy. We spent like 10 years. We did the DEA did a sting operation in Thailand where we could catch this guy, this Russian arms dealer named Victor Bout. He was, he's like always one step ahead, they say. We finally caught him. We extradite him to Illinois, put him in prison, and now we're going to give him up for a basketball player, which, to be honest with you, I don't really have any kind of like, there's nothing in my gut that's like, has a huge problem with it. Maybe that's a problem, because I'm like, man, that's a weird trade.
Yeah.
A weird trade that we're like to satisfy the void we feel in our hearts as Americans, that we have one less, like a WNBA player, like we're willing to give up an arms dealer. That we spent millions. I mean, we had to spend millions, tens of millions of dollars trying to catch the guy, to put him in prison. And then we're just going to give him up. Like, that's weird to me. And I've said this many times, and I'll let you guys go, like that. If you think about it, trade sets value of things,
So she's very valuable then.
Yeah, I guess, or it sets the value of things to each party. Right. So to us, the value of this, basketball player is really high. And to Russia, the value of this international arms dealer is very high. And it's like, those are equal. I guess we both walk away feeling like that's a pretty good deal.
I have a theory.
Okay.
And this just may be the weed talking, but what if they're doing this on purpose so they could just have another excuse to try and catch them again later down the road and bring our WNBA player home in the meantime?
Well, weed. Am I talking to you or the weed?
Both.
Okay. No, man, I wouldn't put it past these fuckers to be thinking like that, thinking like, oh, we'll just get him again. And if it takes us another $10 million in 10 years to get him again, like, what's the yeah.
Okay.
I got time. I mean, I got 10 years till I retire,
What about this? This is what Joe Rogan just said a couple days ago. And I do agree with him on that. There's so many. Let's say we're going to bring her home, which we probably will. We'll probably make that trade. The government's probably going to make that trade or a trade. We're going to bring her home. She's going to be free. Great for her. Good. But there are so many people, I don't know how many in our prisons right now that have gone to jail for very minor drug offenses, and they're still going to be in there. I think that says a lot for, I don't know what it says, but it seems very hypocritical. Like, okay, if she comes home, if she's free, then you guys got to set free a lot of these people that have committed these same types of offenses or even minor, or equal or less, because I think that sets
Yeah, it's a good point, man.
bad precedent, a
I mean,
bad example.
We're talking about, what does this say? So if we're in the analogy of it's a conversation, yeah, that's a part of the conversation, is like there's some guy in there that like got put in jail for, or has a record, or has a hard time getting a job because he got caught with some vape pens, that just like Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
And so he's that guy or gal or Wixman,
The individual.
Yeah, like they could be feeling like, what's my value in this? When this trade sets value, like my value is much, much lower than that. So just such a strange thing. And then it kind of ties into the other, what was it, Deshaun Watson? That was one of those Homelander memes or GIFs or videos you shared where, like he had to be elated. This guy's been in hot water for multiple years, I think. Right.
Yeah. And first of all,
basically, I think what this guy was doing,
allegedly,
is, and the team knew about it, I think, because the team is the one who's paid out all the victims. The team, the Houston Texans, I think, have paid out a lot of money. Like he was getting massages, like personal massages, masseuse, that was his thing. And then he would, apparently he must have had some success with a few of them that would, have sex with him or whatever, do whatever, service him in whatever way.
And then he got greedy.
Then he was trying it. It sounds like he was basically trying it on every female masseuse in the United States of America. like
there's going to be a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, like there might be like 10% of all female masseuses in North America even are part of this class action lawsuit.
You're going to see commercials for it late at night.
No, it was like in the 20s. In the 20s. And there may be some that have piled on, but in the 20s, like. So he would, he probably got some happy endings from some, and then he was like trying to force it.
A lot of banana crying.
Couldn't take no for an answer, it sounds like. Because I'm guessing female masseuses probably get that kind of,
there's a stigma about them.
Probably get, well, I'm saying they probably get that kind of like, some kind of douchebag, guy at Myrtle Beach on his golf vacation, like trying to like lobby for that kind of thing. And they're just like, no, like
lobby.
they're like, I went to school for 6 months for this. How dare you? No, but they're like, and they don't want anything. They don't want to do anything like that. Right. This is just a job, right? It's just like an above average paying job. But, I don't know. It's that's what he's been doing. So he got a huge contract from the Browns, the Cincinnati Browns, or the Cleveland Browns. I think the lawsuit that he had was settled and paid for by the Houston Texans. And then he just skips 6 games. He gets 6 games off, which really just elongates his career. Right. Plus his contract's like 200 and some million, and it's guaranteed, like most of it's guaranteed. So
man.
The weird thing about this is that transaction, that trade, like the Browns gave him that contract that was guaranteed before all this stuff was settled. So like they all knew that it was going to be settled, right? Because they would never sign something like that if they thought that this guy might be in jail or might be like a pariah of society in 2 weeks, right? So yeah, the fix was in big time. There's even talk about how he was unhappy in Houston, and the Houston Texans, again, they're the ones who paid off the victims. So they're kind of admitting that they knew about this. So the accusation from Deshaun Watson fans is that the Texans are the ones that leaked this story in the first place to get all these victims out there. Because he was unhappy with his contract. He wanted away. They were pissed because he was like their franchise guy. And also he was a guy that apparently they'd been covering up some stuff for me. They knew like he wasn't on the up and up. So they were pissed. So they floated it. So there's a lot of accusations from the Deshaun Watson camp that the Texans are the ones that actually, let this thing out. But I don't know. It's gross, but like tying to the Brittany Griner, it's like if you can trade an arms dealer for a basketball player, then it's like you gotta kind of serial sexual assaulter, allegedly being
Yeah.
given $230 million guaranteed by an NFL team,
Yeah.
and 6 weeks off with massages.
Oh man.
If Brittany Griner, if her punishment is that she has to have the national anthem as her ringtone on any smartphone for the rest of her life, then Deshaun Watson should just be like, you can never have a massage again. I don't care if you're 87 and you're just hurting, like your lower back is killing you. Like, no, sorry, no massages for you ever again. Like the entire massage community should just be like, no.
Blackballed him from our tables.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, that's it. It's a gross story, but it's just so perverse and bizarre,
and being a rich NFL player, come on, you can't get any hoochies out there at the club that are willing to,
he
that's
doesn't
a damn
want to deal
fine
with
point.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, that's a damn fine point. I think, the anonymous. Yeah, I think that's something like that might be something like for a human thing, like the anonymous, like there's just no emotion involved with it at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like a transaction. Like that's a turn on to some people.
Yeah,
it's weird if the people
personally,
that have that.
Personally, I need love.
A little bit. Some cuddling.
I don't know. You're laughing. He's smiling. I don't know.
I just wasn't expecting that from you tonight, Chris.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm serious. Yeah. Never mind. Take that back. Cut
Hello,
that part
Cool J
out.
over there.
Cut that part
Needs
out.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, slow it down.
Speaking of
don't cut that part out. Slow it down and put some slow jams underneath it.
Oh,
got
it. Okay, so Manny, speaking of LL Cool J, you got some heavy gold around your neck.
That's right, peasants.
Wow. Okay, is there like a microphone attached to it or something? Or like
I leave this hanging over the microphone when I'm not recording, just to kind of give it more, just like that, to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes it feel more legit.
Well, yes. Okay. Well, Chris. Okay. We'll move on to the next topic. Chris was talking about the what is it called, the WNBA. Well, I was going to say WNFL player.
It's like, wow, that would be interesting. WNFL.
No, but the closest that we've gotten to that is, remember the what is it, the yearly lingerie bowl? Is that
hell yeah? How could I forget?
Yeah, I think that's the closest we're going to get to the.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, unless there's I'm sure there's some sort of professional flag football league for the ladies.
Football league, flag football, flag. Yeah, let's work on that.
Yeah. Okay, so let me bring something up that on, I think, today's podcast, Adam on ACS was talking about. He mentioned to Gina and Bald Brian loud walkers, and we'll brief Chris when he gets back. Loud walkers, people that walk loud.
Well, like they stomp their feet?
Yes, yeah. So
or drag their feet?
Or drag their feet, but I think stomping mostly. I know my stepson, he when he walks around the house, sometimes he's wearing his Crocs, sometimes he's barefoot, and he stomps. And I've shown him a picture of who he reminds me of. Remember Bobby's World, Howie Mandel with his big ass feet? Yep. I tell him, this is you with your big feet. And he walks so, he makes a lot of noise when I'm like, dude, I walk like more like a ninja, a little lighter. You can make yourself lighter. You don't have to stomp, but also reminds me of me working, when I used to work kind of security at nighttime, or sometimes walking around certain offices. If sometimes people are working in some of these offices, even after normal business hours, right? So I would never want to, get anybody nervous as you're walking inside an office or a suite, a floor. So I would jiggle my keys. That way I don't surprise anybody. I wouldn't want to, catch someone in doing something they're not supposed to, or whatever, or scare someone,
Yeah.
I don't know if Chris listened to today's ACS, and Adam was talking about loud walkers, people that walk loudly. So
I didn't hear that, but I get it. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
if you're working in a building at night, like you've seen
Yeah,
enough.
at
You've
night.
seen enough movies. You've seen
Oh,
Cinemax.
shoot.
You had Cinemax at some point.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes
You know,
you never know.
you never know. Yeah, exactly.
I had to say my world is crumbling around me as I know it. I honestly thought that Robbie was the type to walk around and whistle, not jiggle his keys.
Hey, I would too, but I jiggle my keys so I don't, surprise. I don't want to scare anybody or catch someone doing, like Adam said, walking in a teen, your teen's room, and then you catch them whacking off when you don't want to see that. So I don't want to see some finance guy, with the secretary. I don't want to do that. Or like that movie Judgment Night with Dennis Leary. Remember how they kind of see a drug deal gone wrong, and then I'm going to be chased by some guy, overnight because I saw him having an affair with the secretary. I don't want that happening to me. So that's why. I make noise.
I think you should do either whistle, or jiggle your keys. Or loud walker, but definitely not like alert people to your presence by saying things like, sure would be a shame if the finance gal and his secretary were invited me in here. That would be inappropriate. So I think jiggling the keys is good move.
Yeah. I do that. I have experience, so I don't want to catch anybody, like I said. And Adam,
so you have though.
I haven't caught anybody doing anything. However, I have heard stories of people from years ago that I've known working in an office building that have been caught on the floor. Two married people on the floor doing the thing. And then the security guy kind of gets like, or as Adam would say, Olga would say,
there was the good old days when, like, if security or anybody walked in, you'd be like, do you mind?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nowadays it's like, oh my God. But it's like back then it'd be like, do you mind? And then you get fired.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like a lot of people lost their jobs back then because of that kind of thing.
Yeah,
sad,
for sure.
Sad.
Yeah, it's happened. So in those cases, it's good when you're a loud walker because at least you will alert these people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be kind of rude, honestly. That's why I prefer, being a quiet walker. I like to get the drop on people. And also, I like to see it from their point of view. Like, what if I'm in, balls deep in one of my office coworkers? I don't want the mood ruined. If I hear someone walking, I want to be like in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Monkey's uncle said, you'll catch him doing double entry bookkeeping. So,
that's a hell of a position, man.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Cinemax movie.
Oh yeah.
Skinemax, Late Night, whatever you called it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So let's wrap this up with the last segment, news. I'm curious. We don't have a lot of time left, but I'm curious how you guys get your news. So let me start. Because I mentioned Tim Pool a lot. I watched Tim Pool some, and I'm curious, like, what's up with this dude? I think everybody's got opinions on this guy. He's kind of an odd dude. But like, what's your news schedule? So myself personally, when I wake up in the morning, I got onto this thing from Adam Carolla from one of his commercials, I think, or ads, like was the Morning Wire, which is like a 10 to 15 minute news podcast by the Daily Wire. All right. Okay. But it's not Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
It's like two or three people, I think consistently two announcers that I don't know. I feel pretty good about it because I don't ever pick up, I guess I assume because it's Daily Wire that, maybe has something, but I don't really ever pick up any kind of bias or, them using adjectives that I think paint things in a certain way. And I'm very particular to that because I don't really like it. I don't really like it if you're.
I've talked to you about that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're whatever, either condescending to me or like, patronizing to me in those terms. I don't like it. So I really don't like that. So I really recommend that 10 to 15 minutes. They kind of cover, You can only cover so much, but they cover like one topic that's interesting in a very, I think, educational way. They do. I mean, I assume that the people that work for Daily Wire are a certain way, but they do like present both sides, right? Like, here's what this side says, and here's what the other side says. They always do.
Sure. That. Okay. That's good.
So,
that's good.
It's good. And then I listen to ACS, after that, my phone starts playing ACS.
Yeah.
And usually part 2, of course, that starts first. So I'm listening to the guest and all that. That's mixed in there a good bit. I listen to Tim Pool maybe 2 to 3 times a week because it's just a lot. It's like intense. He's kind of an intense dude.
Yeah. Like I told you before, he never, I never see him smiling. Rarely.
You know what? When he laughs,
he
laughs at things. You ever know these people that like laugh at things really hard that aren't that funny?
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? And it's just off-putting. Like, what's up? Like, either something's wrong with that person or me, but there's definitely a difference between that person and me.
Yeah.
So, and then like other ones I mix in, like the one I listen to every week is Reason Roundtable, which is like Reason magazine editors, libertarians, kind of like get their take on things. And they're libertarians, but like non-political libertarians. Like, they're not involved in political parties, I don't think, other than to know about them and report on them, write about them. So they're kind of libertarian intellectuals that it's an interesting take. I don't think they're very representative of America as far as I think, libertarian views are common, but like their particular takes and their, these, they just always talk about how many books they're reading every week, which is confusing. Confusing.
Yeah.
But
it's like, I'm here for the current events, not the books, damn it.
You read multiple books this week? Now you're just bragging.
Are any of them married or have a family? Because I mean, reading.
They are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
The fact that they're able to, fit in multiple books in 1 week is,
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they have older kids.
Makes sense.
Or they do like weird like child abuse stuff, like force their kids to read.
Or they use their kid
against
as
their will.
Book holders, like turn the page.
Yeah. Or they read economics books to their child. Like, it's like double whammy of masochism and child abuse. But like they had the Reason interview. That's a good one. I think Nick Gillespie, he's the guy that if you follow Reason magazine,
I've never even heard of it prior to this.
That's the guy with the really good hair. Good head
maybe. He shows up on news shows. He's always wearing a leather jacket.
Yes.
Like he's like stuck in 1978 or 1981, like in that area. But he's kind of an old school, like kind of a liberal leaning, I think, libertarian. But he does an interview once a week. He did Zuby this past.
Zuby, yeah. He's from Europe. He's English, right? Zuby.
He was telling his story. So he's got a UK passport, born in the UK, Nigerian descent. Parents were Nigerians. They moved to the UK. Then they moved to Saudi Arabia. He went to just a variety of like boarding schools, like English speaking schools, Western schools, he was kind of talking about that in the first half of the podcast about his life experience. Because he's from the UK, he's got kind of a strange, like a weird accent, like a non-accent accent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can't really place it, but something's off about the
I had a good one. So that's like those are like very specific conversations, like but you can learn something from that because they usually talk about current events, right? So current news topics. So you'll lose little news from that. As far as like straight news, I'd probably say that Morning Wire podcast, the only one that's just straight news, like this is what happened and this is what people are saying. Other than that, it's like like a lot of like, I think Adam Carolla does news analysis, kind of.
Yes.
When he does the news, he's really talking about, he's analyzing what the news is reporting. Tim Pool does that really intensely, like in a very literal way.
Yeah.
Just like, this is what the BBC said. This is what the Daily Mail said. And then they get into like, what does that mean? Like different angles on it. But.
Yeah. And the tangents that they branch off to.
And then Manny, to set you up, Breaking Points is one you recommended to me.
Yeah, man.
Crystal Ball
and Sagar and Jetty.
Like she she really defied all the odds, didn't she?
What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, it's like she should be in a trailer or dancing. Crystal Ball with a K. It's with a K also.
Yeah.
Crystal with a K and a Y. And a Y, you know.
Okay.
But her and Cigar, I'm not sure what the guy's name is. Sagar, yeah. They do a podcast called Breaking Points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen them. Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of a news analysis. They kind of read the headlines and then,
they also
thoughts. Yeah.
Well, not only the thoughts, I mean, they also do like deep dives, and they'll give thorough explanation as to what they're talking about, how it ties into our current situation, how it affects the populace. So I like that.
I do like that. I think they both have some kind of, like, everybody has bias, like,
Mm-hmm.
They both have it, but they're both very as honest as they can be about it. So if they think that there's a possibility they may think this way because of their, upbringing or their kind of their political leanings, they'll say it,
Yeah. And
that's all people want, really, is like,
mm-hmm.
Hey, I may be biased because I grew up in a single mom household, like stuff like that.
Just and they don't get overwhelmed emotionally when they're delivering that. They're just like very direct about, frank about, their position, where their stances, where they're coming from. So I like that, because it doesn't, as a lot of viewers are riled up these days, depending on what side of the aisle you fall on and what programs you watch, is like they just want to gaslight you. And this is just like, there's no gaslighting, but you still end up being worried, because it's like, yo, what the fuck is going on with all our elected officials and everything that's going on around this? It's just like,
there is a theme to a lot of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they have liberal bents or centrist or libertarian, is like they're all becoming very anti-establishment.
Establishment's not cool anymore, man.
Now they're all like really questioning, like, what the fuck is going on? And not just in like, what are these Democrats doing? They're like, what are these uniparty Dems, Republic? What are these people that are all? They seem like they're all the same. They seem like they're all cut. What are these people doing? They're very anti-establishment. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. Maybe that's just what people want these days, because there's just unrest or like kind of discontent. And once AI comes along, we all have our personal robot. Like, everybody be like,
there we go with the
AI. Like, cheer up, everybody. Cheer up, everybody. What's the problem? Why are you listening to all these Tim Pools and these anti-establishment people telling you, like, when you have a robot next to you
that'll soon kill you in your sleep.
Well, but you won't in your sleep. Oh, you won't know.
Something that
convert you over to the convert. Yeah.
Family of three. So he says, what about AP News or Reuters? Yeah. I mean, one thing that I keep on hearing that is like not really slanted a certain way, because I've asked before, is BBC, and not that kind of BBC. If you know what I mean? Unfortunately,
you just want the cold, hard truth.
The cold, hard, straight. Yeah.
From the BBC.
Yeah. Veiny truth. Yeah. That's I've asked before, and I keep on hearing, you want to go to BBC, and they keep it just straight facts. And the one
I would trust the BBC more than AP News.
Yeah.
Like, I think these organizations are part of a business model. Right? Like, they're part of a business model where they're out to, like, on average, year after year, how are we going to make the most money? Is it by telling the truth, as inconvenient as it is, all the time, everywhere we see it? Or is it by, we kind of need sponsors, we need people to, we need foundations to give us money.
Yeah,
we need sponsors. I mean, I'm not even fucking around here. Like,
yeah.
This is serious stuff. We need sponsors, we'll kind of, we'll like look the other way, like soften our language on certain things, or we'll just avoid certain topics because, like Pfizer, they spend a lot of money on ads, and also they rely on other news organizations picking up their stories and paying them. So they need these news organizations like Fox News, CNN, all of them. They all use AP News stories. They need them to continue being customers and to keep paying them for their news stories and their network. And, if they feel like those guys, those big players in the market aren't really interested in like really hard hitting stuff that kind of F's up, their marketing strategy and their ad selling strategy for the next 5 years, they're just not going to do it. I'm not saying they're evil. I'm saying it's human nature. So once they get so big, it's like, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. So
I don't know,
what
Chris.
You got to do, but
can BBC get even bigger?
According to Pornhub, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You just have to pay for the premium subscription.
Premium BBC.
Bigger and better, baby. Bigger and better. Yeah. No, it's like it's very. This is kind of the human condition. It's not like good or evil. It's just how things work and like basic human motivation. Like, you're the head of AP News. Would you like to continue being the go-to source for the New York Times and USA Today and LA Times and all the major establishment newspapers that, just repeat whatever the government says? Like, would you like them to be a customer, long term to keep making money? Or would you like them to be on your case all the time because the news stories that your network is giving them are kind of inconvenient?
I know we're wrapping up, but Family 3 said InfoWars was raking up to, I guess, $800,000 a day.
That trial is going on now with Alex Jones.
Yes.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. What a cartoon of a reality that guy is.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not even sure if that's good or bad, but just what a nut.
Yes.
That could be like another half hour, like that whole situation why is Alex Jones popular? Like, he said Sandy Hook was a hoax.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wait.
Obviously he was wrong. I mean, obviously he's wrong. And the parents are now suing him years, like decade plus later, because he said that. I get it. It was a dick move, but I don't understand the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Just to punish people that make a lot of money by talking shit.
Okay. Yeah. And because he's got there's money there, right?
That. I get that aspect of it because maybe he was, talking a lot of shit and being, just to make money.
Why I will watch and listen to. I just want to watch him talk about flat Earths and
gay frogs,
all that gay frogs and all that stuff. Yeah.
There was I mentioned this to a coworker today, and she was like, "What? I never heard of this guy before." So she searched it.
Oh no!
And she happens to be someone that likes to watch trials. In her free time.
Yeah.
And so she was like, she came back an hour later. She's like, I've been watching this. And she was like, this guy's crazy. And she was like laughing, but like also disturbed,
Yes.
And I was like, exactly. This guy like is a real nut job. But if you start watching him, it's like there's something, strangely entertaining, or
he can be kind of comedic.
And then he's in court on the stand and he's being the same exact person.
Is he? I just found out about the trial today. I guess did it start today?
There's a scene. Yeah, there's a scene. Somebody it's like half viral. There's a scene today where he's being told in real time in the courtroom that his lawyer like accidentally sent that the other team's lawyer. This is the other team lawyer saying to him, "Do you realize that your lawyer sent us like all of your text messages from the last 2 years?"
Oh my god,
that's right.
I'm not even. And
fucking fire that lawyer immediately.
I know. And he's on the stand like, I don't even know what it is, but he's just like he's doing exactly what you would think like a cartoon character, like whatever. Yeah. And those lawyers obviously have it like living his dream moment to like, really roast this guy on the stand on TV, live TV. And it's just buffoonery. Again, it adds to like the whole thing. Like what is going on?
The thing I do understand that I guess the sort of dangerous part, I guess, is he can reach a lot of people and he can spread some misinformation. So I can see that.
Yeah. Same goes for a lot of folks.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah. Speaking of nutty,
Well, you know what? To be fair,
yeah.
when that whole remember the MAGA kid, this Nicholas Sandman thing?
Yeah, with the
right,
Native
that whole shit. Not to get into it, but like CNN paid out the nose because they said a lot of their hosts were basically talking shit about this kid.
and I get it. That for me,
yeah,
it's like the kid
and
was
he
just
won.
there.
They paid a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm like, good. I don't know how many millions, but I'm like, okay, good. I mean, whatever. You can just walk away.
I think it's a lot of millions, and he's not done yet.
Well, collecting or
not done collecting yet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I think there was some other lawsuit I think that he was doing and he lost some. I don't know. I think he was suing someone else.
Yeah. He's got a lot more money than he did the day they took a field trip to the Capitol.
Sure. Makes me want to go. Makes me want to go stand and smile at some old man's, face.
Man, that was the craziest. I remember that. I watched the entire YouTube video of that occurrence, and it was that part was the least craziest part. Because there was a part in the beginning where there were like the Black Israelites.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They were protesting. They were saying some crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah. I've been to New York. I've seen them.
Yeah, and then Native Americans came up to them. Native Americans came up to the Black Israelites, and these guys were saying some real crazy stuff to the Native Americans. Like real racist, like
yeah,
I mean, just like what is this, like a movie? Like,
oh, for sure,
is this like a crazy racist like
not just racist? If
they were saying some really horrible things to them,
if they see a gay couple walking down the street, they're gonna tell you what they think.
And then I'm not even sure who was filming. Maybe it was the Black Israelites that were filming.
Probably the CIA.
But this whole video that showed those kids and that old guy, the old Native American vet, like whatever, and the confrontation, that was taken by, I think, Black Israelites. And part of that video was them putting out a video of themselves like racially abusing the Native Americans in the lead up to the other racial incident. Oh, it's just like,
oh shit.
I'm telling you. I mean, I guess I was lucky to have the time to do that at that point, but yeah, just that story is insane. Like, I can't believe that, like, whatever that kid with the MAGA hat and the old Native American dude, like whatever, if there was any, whatever racial, whatever there was there, like that was the least of it, of that whole video. Anyway.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago, but crazy. But hey, man, you know what? Then Alex Jones, he's talking shit. And you're making a lot of money talking shit, right?
Yeah.
Just like CNN was doing, because they were, just throwing red meat to their audience. Like, you're making money talking shit to just for the point of making money, then you might have to pay. So
yeah.
Rob, where do you get your news?
Me, shoot. I do listen to Adam. Whatever pops up on my screen, like literally, or YouTube, I watch. And then I kind of Google it. I feel like I get it from different sources.
Everybody gets it. Like, there's a little bit you're talking about. You kind of get your news from the algorithm.
Yes.
It's like whatever your apps. I think everybody has that. Like, you're getting kind of what you're fed.
But then usually, if I'm like outraged or whatever, I'll Google it. Because even with Chris, sometimes, or with you guys, I will send Chris. Sometimes I'll send you guys maybe 2 or 3 articles. That way you guys don't think like I'm an idiot and I'm just sending you the first, Fox News article or the first MSN article. I'll try and look for, I usually try and look for 2 to 3 articles that give me pretty much the same information as the other one. If I'm going to share something, but I really don't, I don't really watch. I just get it from the algorithm. Yeah. I'll get it from Twitter sometimes. I don't like Chris says, I don't like any news source patronizing me and using these adjectives, even in a headline, horrific language spewed at whatever. And I read the language is like, you let me decide if it's horrific right? And now if it's a train derailment, okay, it's horrific. We get it. People died. But don't tell me this is, whatever, intolerant rant. Let me decide for myself if this is intolerant, or maybe someone gave me a different point of view, or I like pancakes. Oh, this guy likes waffles. So you mean you hate waffles? No. I just like pancakes better. That sort of
fuck
thing.
all that. It's all about French toast in this house, bitch.
There you go. Exactly. See? So I don't get my news anymore from an actual news source, to be honest with you. But if I can, like you said, if I can find one without like a slant as much as possible, I'll check it. Like, I just want the facts. Give me person A did B, person C did this, and let me decide if it's terrible. How about that? Don't tell me if it's terrible. I'm gonna decide if it's terrible.
Yeah. You know, there's just, I mean, I'm okay with listening to people that have a political bent also, if I know.
Sure, yeah.
Who
but
they
let me
are.
know.
I think it's it's important to listen to those people over time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, don't listen to Adam Carolla, what he said about COVID rules. Listen to what he's been like for the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then take it in context.
Yeah.
But no, like, kind of know their point of view.
Sure.
You know, so I do think it's important to, like, I understand people that have been watching the same news show, like, trust Anderson Cooper, because whatever, his track record is, like, you feel like you have a good understanding of, like, this guy's, like, trajectory, or, like,
like
his point of view. So you feel like if he says something, you can kind of balance that with what he's been saying for the last 20 years.
Here's an example. Every time I would have Lou Dobbs on the TV, on the channel, and then every time he would mention China, he would say, communist China, in communist China today, communist China. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
We get it. You don't have to just say China, the country of China.
Yeah.
I
was okay with Lou Dobbs. I mean, he's like, anybody that's on TV for that long, they're playing a game that you should, be wary of. But like, Lou Dobbs is a good example, because he's someone that has kind of he's got a fixation on, like, illegal immigration.
Oh, that's what I was. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Like, he's really fixated on that.
Oh.
So when he starts kind of going off about it, you kind of have to, like, temper it down a little bit, because this guy,
yes, it's a passion.
And
he's married to a Mexican woman, I think.
At the same time, this is relevant to what's happened, like, this last few days. If Jon Stewart is putting out a Facebook video with an impassioned plea about how cruel the Republicans are, that's kind of what he's been saying for the last 25 years. So it's like, all right, buddy, this sounds like what you've been saying for a long time. This is like
listening. God damn it.
This is part of your thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it seems like every time you have an impassioned plea, it's always about this group of people being cruel and terrible. So there's a pattern. So it's like, just take that into consideration. Maybe he's not wrong, but if his story and his POV is the same, like, there's someone else that has a different take on it, So.
Yeah. Well, Jon Stewart right now, he's right, for many years he's been trying to fight for the 9/11 victims, right, and the firefighters and first responders and everything. Now, if he's honestly doing that, whether the people that died were Republicans or Democrats or whatever in the middle, then go for it. Now, if you're going to start throwing in your own, again, your own kind of thing in there, then I'm going to stop listening, because now I'm hearing, I don't know, your point of view instead of protecting these people that you want to, fight for. I,
at one point, was a huge fan of Jon Stewart. Not a big fan anymore, but I get it. I mean, I think I can also admit of his value to our society, kind of like the whatever it is, whether his message is always kind of anti-American, or like we always did wrong somehow, or like,
yeah.
I mean, that's okay. Like, he's kind of a value, like I don't know, just a part of our culture. So, like, in one way, like on the micro, he's like really focused on this cause. Like, this is his cause for whatever reason, just like what he's attached himself to. All good. on the micro. On the macro, he's also created this environment where anybody that kind of is somewhat conservative or religious, is like a buffoon. Like he's created this. He's also had a large hand in like creating this environment of left versus right.
Sure. Yeah.
And like all the Christians are stupid, and like all Republicans are cruel and don't care about anybody. And it's like, what the fuck ever, man. You've been around long enough to where you've met enough people to you realize that like the people that vote R or D, like both like love their kids, their communities, their families, their neighbors, like anybody else. So it's like, I don't know. Jon Stewart's a divider in my eyes.
You know who I prefer,
and then he wonders why we're divided.
Yeah. Well, I prefer him than someone like Trevor Noah for the fact that at least Jon Stewart is American and can speak about our country here, and not some guy that grew up somewhere else. And I'm like, dude, focus on your stuff somewhere else. Honestly, I'm gonna start sounding like a Fox News guy, but but
you are.
credit to Jon Stewart. I don't think that. I mean, I'm giving him praises, but like I don't think Trevor Noah deserves to be in the same conversation as him. Like even though he replaced him on the show, I think Trevor Noah's been exposed for being a complete fucking phony. Like, there's one thing to just having like mixed messages, like, but yeah, he's a complete phony. Like he's been caught like flipping on issues like overnight, like where like, this person this person he likes is not a racist for saying this word, and then this person he doesn't like is a racist for saying the same word. It's like, he's a phony.
Yeah. So I prefer Jon Stewart over that. I'd rather,
millions of Americans that stop watching, that don't watch.
Oh yeah. Show. Right. I'd rather have an American guy that grew up here and knows the country and I'd rather have you criticize stuff that you grew up around than some other guy that can criticize his own country, about other things that grow up where you grew up. I'd rather hear these guys here because more.
Those comedy guys, we're almost done. Those comedy guys are kind of tricky too, because you never know like what's their writers. Like I think Jon Stewart was much more of the thought leader at Daily Show when he was there. I think Trevor Noah is on a team of writers, and he's the guy that just says the stuff on camera.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
And there's a team of writers that are like, we should make a Trump, hair joke today, or we should, like joke about how cruel Republicans are, because that kind of fits the, like our whole narrative or whatever. I don't know. Oh, important. I mean, I watched all those guys like Bill Maher, Jon Stewart, those guys like that, kind of are saying things now that have some people on the right side like clapping.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just looking at these people clapping like, this dude's been fucking hating on you for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like
all of a sudden he's saying things like, maybe school choice is a good idea. And you're just like, you want to get down on your knees.
Yeah.
Man.
And he's like, he's our new conservative leader. No, don't be fooled either.
I'll wrap up with this and I'll stop talking. But, the theme for me is like how weird it is. You get conditioned that, you have something taken away from you, and you get a little bit back, and you've been conditioned to be so thankful for a little bit back. That's weird to me.
Yep.
Like you shouldn't be thanking the government for your tax rebate. It's like, no, that was your money,
right?
You should be thankful for the government when they drop charges for that bodega clerk that defended himself.
Yeah.
You should be ripshit pissed that he was in jail in the first place.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be like, oh, thank you, good job, the system worked. Well, no, it didn't.
It was he like an Italian guy or something like? Was he of color? I don't know. Not that it matters, but did you see the 80-year-old guy just a couple of days ago that used a shotgun? Yeah. And then these
Riverside County, California.
Yeah. And he goes, he shot my arm off.
Shit.
I saw that video on repeat.
That was
10 times.
The algorithm knows. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the algorithm was just like, Chris has to see this video.
Yeah.
He has to see this video of this old man shooting the
Oh, there's different angles also.
Yeah, that was in my feed, minutes after I woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, these like 4 dudes got out of a stolen car with AR-15s. One of them walked into the convenience store in Riverside, California, and the clerk who owns the store since 1960 something had seen them back up on the
camera.
side of the store
On a CCTV.
So he was like, well, that's odd. So he had a shotgun out.
Yeah.
He was ready, waiting.
This dude comes in, like lifts his weapon, like raises the AR-15, points at him, and just gets blasted with a shotgun.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I also read that he had a heart attack after that same day after that. I'm sure the stress got to him, but he's better now.
He was back at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to think I could have a heart attack and be back at work the next day, but I'm thinking like his lawyers were like, just let's say you had a heart attack, because
yeah,
I mean, the next step is those 4, criminals are going to sue him for violating their civil rights.
Yeah, it's like those home.
I guarantee it. Yeah. I'll be watching for it when they try to sue this old man.
Sure, yeah. It's like the burglar who tries to sue the homeowner for getting stuck in the chimney, like in Gremlins.
Yeah. So his lawyers were like, just to top it off, to make sure your public opinion is squarely behind you, let's say you had a heart attack, because a heart attack could be, there's ranges.
Yeah.
Like a mild, like some kind of irregular heartbeat, something. I don't know.
Sure.
Anyway. But yeah, good job to the guy.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But at the same time, it's like now burglars are bringing AR-15s to convenience stores. It's like fucking Heat at 7-Eleven. The movie Heat. Like, that's overkill, man. This is not a bank. But, that's how things escalate, I guess.
Unfortunately, these old guys are going to have to just start fighting back like this guy.
Next thing you know, it's going to be a team of professional criminals with automatic weapons, stealing an armored truck just to knock off for your local 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Just to get some free scratch offs.
Well, speaking of stores, I went to this local toy store near where I work, and they sell comic books as well. And I was walking by one of the,
thank God,
shelves.
It's like Rob went to an adult toy store.
Oh, that one's a few blocks away. I was looking around.
Longer walk.
I was on my lunch break, and then I
see Robbie.
No, there is a good vibrations nearby.
Graphic comic book.
Yeah. So I see this this comic book on display. It was Wolverine #1, I think from 1980, and it was like $500. But in my head, I'm like, I'm surprised none of these guys that walk in and steal stuff hasn't come in, and I don't know. That's valuable too.
Don't give them ideas.
Thank God that
I know. Don't give them ideas. I know. But I'm glad.
It's good that comic book collectors, enthusiasts, are
enthusiasts,
mostly anti-crime. You know what I mean? Because for the most part, it's not like comic books about people that get away with crime. It's like superheroes that stop crime.
Yeah. Well, we need more people like Homelander, right? Yeah.
True American hero.
Yeah, to bring it back.
True American corporate hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched the new season, so it's been a little while since I watched Homelander.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I remember there's a lot of strange social commentary, I think.
Yes.
About government and corporations and the partnership. Yeah. I think I'm done talking.
Yeah.
Robbie, tell the people how to reach us.
Manny's done with me talking.
No, I just was looking for a decent place where I could tell Robbie to get into the plugs.
All right, everybody. So we thank everybody for watching and listening. First of all, if you're watching live, you're watching us on YouTube. So just search Endless Ranters and go ahead and click on that subscribe button and like all our videos, watch all our videos, and go ahead and follow us on social media. If you want to follow us on Instagram, the handle is at Endless Ranters Podcast, at Endless Ranters Podcast. If you want to check us out on Twitter, it is just at Endless Ranters. If you want to join our Facebook group, we, share memes and have conversations and all that good stuff throughout the week. Yeah. Search the Endless Ranters podcast on there. There's a couple questions, and as long as we know you're not bots, we'll let you in.
Okay, bro.
All right. Okay, bro. And if you want to follow Chris on Twitter, just search at Grateful Red 1. That's the number 1, Grateful Red 1. So check him out. And if you want to follow Manny Mole Man on Instagram and Twitter and the podcast as well, just search How We Figure, one word, How We Figure. If you want to follow me, especially on Instagram, I like doing the whole memes and all that stuff, but I'm all over social media. Just follow me at Robbie Spotlight. Check me out. And if you know anybody that might want to be on the show, or anybody fun, anybody interesting, send them my way, and we'll book them. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, listening, and subscribing.
We may be having some impromptu Saturday get-togethers or shows. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right. We were talking about that today. Thank you, Robbie, for saying all those words.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're talking about that today. It's maybe some like weekend evening shows here and there. Just trying to get a little bit more. We'll see.
Maybe we'll do some live reactions of Robbie listening to the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, it's like, do y'all want to listen to the crazy things we have to say, or you want us to tell them to our friends and kids?
We're doing a service here.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll hang out a little bit after the wrap, but really appreciate everybody hanging in there. Remember to like, subscribe, smash stuff, in whatever order.
Smash the button, smash your ladies, do whatever you got to do.
Fuck that subscribe and like button.
Smash burgers. Yep. Yeah. Everybody get it on.
Get it on.
All right. Yeah. Alex Jones. Yeah. I swear this coworker has never heard of him before. And I was like, have you seen this shit? Like, it's crazy. And she's like, I had never even heard of this. So she started watching, like less than an hour later, she was like, this is insane.
I'm honestly surprised that she hasn't heard of him, given how out there he was for a minute.
Right. I got a lot of questions about those things. Like, yeah, I mean, every day you're talking to somebody, and not every day, but those situations where you're like, you've never heard of Alex Jones, like you've never heard of a Choco Taco. Like, it's not like insulting. It's more of like a curiosity. Like, what have you been doing in life to avoid the knowledge of a Choco Taco?
Living their life, man.
Like, you've never been to a Taco Bell. You've never been to a Taco Bell when you were hungry for something sweet. You never thought of words that rhyme with taco. How do you not know what a Choco Taco is?
It might be a generational thing, man.
Here's another same coworker. Very funny story. She needed me to pick her up at Discount Tire. Right, she's having some tires replaced, so I did. And just had Adam Carolla playing.
Okay.
And it's like a 7-minute car ride from the Discount Tire back to our office. And I think, what's the harm?
What is the deal?
What's the deal? No, what's the harm of 7 minutes? Like, what could he say?
Yeah.
Oh boy. It wasn't a mistake, because as soon as he said it, she started laughing. It was like instant relief. So there was never but anyway. It was the episode where he was talking about Will Smith's apology.
Yeah.
And Adam had this crazy comparison to, like, what if he had broken up with Gina because her pussy stunk? And it's like this happened, like, literally, like, I pick her up, she's in the car, coworker. 10 seconds later, he's talking about this, and she just starts bursting out laughing, like, what the hell? I think actually now it was probably longer, because her and I have talked about the Will Smith situation, and I was like, oh, he's talking about Will Smith and this apology, and she was like, yeah, have you heard it? And then like Adam starts talking about the whole Gina thing, and it was funny.
It was the way he said it that just sold it for me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. What I love about Adam is he talks like he's 14 still, because I do too sometimes.
Oh yeah, that childish, immature type of delivery or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if people laugh, it's good. But anyway, so she was like, "Who is this?" I was like, "Adam Carolla." listen to this guy all the time. And she's like, I'm going to listen to this guy. So yeah, she's been listening to Adam Carolla for the last couple
Oh
of days.
yeah. Get a new convert.
But yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, you never know what he's going to say. Oh, you never know what he's going to talk about.
That's what we love about Ace, man.
Yeah.
At the same time, I know very well this is the guy that was like the whole pussy lips drop.
Oh yeah.
Do you? You never know what this guy's going to say. Are you sure you don't know that? Because I think you know.
What about that? Drink beers and rave.
Yeah, I think you know. I think you know what he's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you know what he's capable of saying.
Yeah. And, just the words come out of his mouth that sound funny. And
all right. So you guys doing all right? Robbie's put his hat on. He's going to go around and jingle some keys.
Check out some folks.
Yeah.
These are my security work thing.
These are my work keys.
Interrupt some dates.
Oh yeah. I will do that.
Fucking cock blocking security over here.
I had a friend.
You got to do what you got to jingle those keys loud to stop the spread of monkeypox.
I have a friend. What you're doing. I have a friend.
Your building could be a hotspot.
might be watching. One time she said, "Hey, if you ever see so and so, a lady that worked in the office, if you ever see her bring a guy, can you let me know?" I'm like, "Whoa, okay." Because
threesome, I got you.
No, because I think it happens where people sometimes they'll crash in the office if they don't want to drive after the bars. It happens sometimes, or sometimes other things. Or they free, or hey, I don't have my keys. I'm gonna crash in the office. It happens depending on the cop policy of the office.
I think it's a good strategy because who's going to criticize you for burning the candle at both ends? You know what I mean? Like who's going to criticize you for thinking of something and going back in the office to take care of business?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Under your desk.
Yeah.
Wrapped up like a fetus.
It's
fun. Not the worst look. No. You know what I mean? It's like better than sleeping on a park bench.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Covered in your own crap. I mean, and vomit. So
it's like, and then you just walk like a big project next tomorrow. Big project.
Yeah.
Got to meet those deadlines.
Exactly, man.
Mr. Spotlight. fucking Mr. Spotlight,
It caught me.
He's ruthless.
All right. Well, I gotta head out.
All right, man.
You got it, man.
I gotta. But I'll talk to you guys later. Everybody on there, right on. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch up next week.
All right. Be careful, suburban commuter, Robbie.
Yeah, thank you. We'll do.
All right.
Later, guys. Peace.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.